was, at 48 years old, I realized I had 60 companies. I have a brand new baby girl at home, and my own company, my own life. And the Daymond John at 20 could sleep for 2 hours and get up and go to Red Lobster and then come back and sew hats and do whatever. But the Daymond John at 48 years old can't do that. And I wanted to try to get some tips and pointers on how people become more productive. So the main thing that I found that most of these people do, number one, is they're selfish, inclusive of myself. Very, very selfish, but selfish in a good way. Selfish in a way that you look at someone like a Michael Jordan, he wouldn't go to everybody else's practice. He goes to his practice first so he can be the best contributor to the team. Most of these people, they will write their own obituary. They'll write it today, and they'll want to know, did I live the life that I wanted to live, or did I live for everybody else? They make sure that they write their obituary.
At what point? This is an assignment. I teach journalism at Hunter College, and my basic reporting class, my first assignment is to have all my students write their obituary, and it freaks them out,
Yeah.
So I'll give them some things that aren't true, because the obituary has to be absolutely true, except for the one thing that you died, and
Right.
then what you died of. So I'll have them die of a dinosaur bite, because that
Right.
can't happen, because people are superstitious.
Sure.
But what it does invariably is it forces them to focus on what they haven't done yet, or where
Yeah.
they are in the moment, and it is sobering.
It is.
At what point do you think people should write their own obituaries?
I would, listen, as unfortunately, as growing up as a young African American male, I was promised or told that I would not live past the age of 21. I'd die or be in jail. I think
Who's telling you that?
It was the
this a
cops, it
narrative?
was the streets, it was the teachers, it was the people in my neighborhood. It was then soaked into the people that lived in the neighborhood, and they would repeat it. You become what you think about most of the time. But my mother would break those stigmatism down, because she showed me so much love, and she showed me that I could be anything and anybody that I wanted to be. But I think that you should write it at a pretty young age. I think you should write it at 15, at 20, at 30. And the reason why at 15, I think, is it then gives you a roadmap to where you should start to go. It's not because you're supposed to look at the time that was wasted. You're going to look at the time that you can maximize at that point. And if you write the obituary, you will realize, did you live for yourself or somebody else? One of the main groups of people who start new businesses are empty nesters, because they realize that for most of their life, they were somebody's husband, wife, son, daughter. They went to become a doctor because their family said they should, and they never wanted to do that. And now they're going to come out and create their own business of what they want to do in life. Should they have written their obituary at 20, 21 years old to say, maybe I don't want to go to medical school because I'm just not set up for that. So a lot of them write their obituary. They also do a couple of things. When they wake up in the morning, they don't answer any emails. They will not answer any emails for the first hour. Most of them will not answer emails for the first hour. Because if you wake up in the morning answering emails, you're answering everybody else's damn problem. You don't get an email saying, remember all those problems I called you about yesterday? Well, I solved them and I'm sending you a check. That just doesn't happen, right? So if you wake up in the morning for the first hour, don't answer anybody's email. You can send out as many emails as you want, because remember, your inbox is your defense, your outbox is your offense. They also will not go onto social media. They will not. Why? Because everybody on social media is skinnier, sexier, wealthier than you, and they're all just as screwed up. They're just lying. Right? So you get social media depression. You start off your day thinking about everybody's problems and depressed on why you can't be like everybody else. Right? Instead, they set goals in the morning. They read goals, or they find a place that they are one with spiritually, their family. They're focused on what they want to accomplish in life, and they find the time to be by themselves. Because if you wake up in the morning, you have all these emails, you have a cell phone, you have a bunch of things there. The kids got to go to school. You turn on the radio, the world is blowing up again. Then you go to the office, you're speaking to people, then you go to a dinner. You're never by yourself. And they take time to be by themselves and home in on what they want to accomplish. They also, the next point, they set a very firm schedule for their family, for their loved ones. Even if it's as cold as, I'm going to call my mother at 4:45 just to tell her I love her. I'm going to make sure I do this with my daughters or my son. Why? Because you end up scheduling everybody else instead of your family. You kiss your kids, you kiss your husband or wife, you say, I'll see you later. And before you know it, 20 years is gone and the kids are off with their own family. Instead, you'll schedule what time to be on the train, what time to be at a conference call, what time to be at a restaurant, what time to be, here and there, but you don't schedule time with your family, and you turn around, and that's the most important reason that you even exist.